All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to dive into our second series of the night, LW Red versus the Rocks Orcas. Now, Rocks Orcas, they've already locked themselves into last place in their group. They have no hopes of climbing. They will be in the promotion tournament, but they can upset LW Red and deny them that first place seed out of their group.
Yeah, they're playing spoiler, just like GC Busan fans are probably sitting on and watching with the Rocks Orcas, imploring the Rocks Orcas. I believe a 3-1 is what they need to actually knock LW Red down and have GC Busan be an unlikely first seed. It's probably not going to happen. The Rocks Orcas I think they've shown signs that they have started to grow in the Apex, but because you only play 3 of those best-of-5s, the growth happened in their second series. Yeah. Now they're already eliminated and facing that relegation tournament, or the Apex Super Week, as we should call it. I'm excited to see LW Red again because I actually had LW Red and MVP Space in a very similar place in my brain as these very hyped teams coming from Challenger, showing big results, like MVP Space, of course, taking down Lunatic High. But we've already watched basically MVP Space be eliminated, barring a statistical improbability in Meta Athena, taking them down 3-0 next week in the final match of that particular group. LW Red, they're already through. They've shown us some excellent Doomfist play. Our first series of the night, because there was no Rascal, the Doomfist play didn't really show too much. Let's see if Wicked can bring out his Doomfist, because that's been very impressive.
Yeah, it was a weak Doomfist on both sides. Yeah. Flooded didn't have the most convincing there, but I mean, going back to those legacy picks, I guess, for him with the Pharah and the Genji, that's where he was really shining. But seeing Wicked bringing those out, bringing the Doomfist out yet again, could be rather exciting here for us. And Rocks Orcas, it's going to be a really tough ask for these guys to come up with a victory, as you mentioned. 3-1, 3-0 is what they need to deny that first place spot here for LW Red. But a 3-2, even if they can find that, even if they can just kind of barely scrape that victory through, will not do it. That'd still be LW Red going in first and GC Busan.
But 2 map wins going into the promotion tournament will mean a lot for this team, right? They've only picked up 1 map win so far. If they could go down 3-0, 3-1, 3-2, it would show development. It's against a really good team in LW Red based on Season 4 play. So given that this is not the end game, it might be the end of their Apex Season 4 story, but not necessarily the end of their Apex Season 5 seed, which will be on the line in that promotion tournament. There still is stuff to play because they won't have a game like this on a stage, a LAN game, until they play in Super Week. Yeah. So this is the time to seize the opportunity, even if, like you say, they largely are playing with house money when it comes to what's going to happen going forward in the tournament.
Interesting. Not sure who that one was. Who that was for there, but the nice Anna gun there, Tom and Jerry, little piece together.
Rocks Org have fans, but LW Red, we can see many signs on their side of the stadium for them. Right to the LW organization. Only Red left now. Surprised they didn't rename, but maybe you can't rename mid-season to LW. There's no LW Blue anymore, of course.
I mean, if you can kind of leave mid-season, I think you could probably rename as well.
It's true. It turns out you can do quite a lot of things if you put your mind to it.
So
the others are Korean casters, but now it's us.
Yeah, now we're back to us. We're back where we belong.
Yep.
With you and I. We haven't really been here in a little while, Papa Smith. It's been a while for me for Overwatch. I think it's been a full week since the last time that I was casting.
But you're back now. You're back for what could be a better series than on paper, because we already had a surprising Series 1. 4 maps, by the end of it, not competitive, but the start, very competitive. Again, we thought today, easy 6-0, everyone's home early, enjoy your weekend. That wasn't the case, and now I'm ready for some sick Overwatch, because my chances of hitting the 9 o'clock movie, the 9 o'clock dream, they're already over. It's 8:47 p.m. local time.
Yeah.
We're going to go a little bit later, and I hope the Overwatch is there to back it up.
That's all right. It's a Friday night. There's plenty of nightlife available for us, even if we can't make it to the movie theater, Papa Smithy. We still have our options available to us. So there's plenty that can be done. Wish it was under better conditions. I'm a little under the weather here today. So I do apologize if there's any hoarseness in the cast because of
Overwatch is not the game to come in
great.
with any sort of medical condition.
It's
you
really
need to be clear of mind. You need to be having a great day because there's a lot of action going on. I want to capture it all. You guys, the OGN Legion at home, but you're doing well so far.
I'll be soldiering through that, bringing you guys the best possible cast here for this Hype as Hill second series as we get ready to dive in to the Trash Talk videos. But the Koreans are having a little bit of a conversation over there, so we can have a little bit of a conversation over here.
And we can also give them a little something because we saw a screener of this Trash Talk, and it's a good one.
Oh, it really is. There's some great moments in there, so get your screen caps ready so you can go ahead and tweet out and post those lines on Reddit because there's some pretty good ones in there So let's go ahead and take a look at the video.
한번 낸 거고요.
네.
아,
자, 위키드.
와, 위키드 2킬, 3킬.
저기서 냈네. 장갑까지 줬었고.
와! 지난시즌 3위 팀을 잡아낸 거예요.
준비해온 게 생각보다 많더라고요. 쟤네가 깊게 다이브하면 저는 받아치려고 전체적으로 움직임을 바꿨던 것 같아요. 성장을 하고 있는 느낌이 들어요.
화면의 일격으로 그냥 끝내버리네요.
파멸의 일격이 대체.
둠피스트로 이용해서 힐러진을 많이 압박하다 보니까는 저희가 선택할 수 있는 게 많이 없었어요. 살기도 힘들고 천주교인데 너무 스트레스 받아갖고 절 다니고 있어요.
탱일 라인이 그래도 상당히 단단하다고 생각을 하고요. 반면에 이제 딜러 라인은 상대적으로 좀 약체라고 생각을 해서 일단은 솔저인데도 잘 모르겠고요, 솔직히. 저희랑 락스의 딜러 차이 좀 많이 봐주셨으면 좋을 것 같아요.
네, 렌네가 너무 강렬한 선수라서 말도 안 되게 플레이를 하더라고요. 거의 뭐 4대2를 하는 수준이었어요. 챌린저스 시즌 2, 3부터 해갖고 3경기 동안 역수입만 3번 당했어요.
심지어 5세트도 계속 똑같이 왕의 길이고 그랬었는데 다시 또 왕의 길을 뽑으면 굉장히 즐거울 것 같아요. 락스한테도 정이 좀 많이 들었는데 실력 차이가 좀 나서 3대 0으로 쉽게 끝날 것 같아요. 저희 손으로 챌린저스로 보내게 돼서 좀 유감이네요. 온라인 힘든데 그걸 또 어떻게 해요.
네, 못다가 됐습니다. 생각하면 끔찍한데 열심히 해서 살아남아야죠. 한번 풀세트 한번 가서 저희가 역습 내고 싶어요. 한번 당해보라고. 꼭 3대 0도 아니고 3대 2입니다.
이미 에임 돌리기도 전에 이거예요.
너무 약한데? 우리 락스는 요즘 형식 때부터 해서 여성 최초 프로게이머까지 많은 화제가 있었는데 LW 레드의 화제는 누구죠?
Overwatch Apex Season 4, energized by Hot 6, Round Robin. Today's matchup, LW Red, rocks Orcas.
Well, Rox Orcas getting quite the cheer there from the fans here in the audience. And some nice trash talk back and forth. I think they said, where are your talking points, LW Red? We got the first pro female Apex player here.
And you can tell that Tri is not a fan of the Doomfist. He's a support player, and anyone who has played competitive knows that Doomfist on this patch, before there's any adjustments to his hitbox on his Rocket Punch, is a handful at worst. He's very, very strong. I wasn't even looking for that particular part of killers, but I'll accept it. That is my fate for the night.
Shaking
See
my
if the
head in
Doomfist can...
disappointment.
Wicked has played 80% of his game time on Doomfist, so it is a plug-and-play choice for LW Red, and Rox Orcas, complete with their hot topics like Geggery, the female pro gamer, just want to end their season on a high. Flash Slugs able to do that in our first series. There is the polite handshake between the coaches. Let's see if Rox Orcas can do it as well.
You know, but I have to disagree with that interview there from the Rox Orcas side, because they said, you know, they want a victory. They said 3-0 probably not, but a 3-2 will be fine. But no, you don't want a 3-2. You want that 3-1 victory to deny LW Red that first place spot.
Maybe they don't feel strongly about GC Busan. Remember, all
That's
these
true.
three teams came from the last season's challengers. So not necessarily the most love lost. This was 3 challengers teams and the Afrika Freaks, formerly the Afrika Freaks Blue. And we already know the Afrika Freaks have been eliminated from this group in surprising fashion. This was the strongest team in the group, though. LW Red has really impressed us. A famous org that never made it to Apex until Season 4. has exceeded expectations. They will be leaving the group. Still learning about the players, a lot of them unheralded. A lot of respect shown by Rox Orcas Zenyatta player Tri towards Nene, who is their Tracer player and has been having a great season. We've largely been focused on Wicked because he was one of our quick Doomfist players when it came to actually being able to jump onto the pick and show us impressive results. LW Red are definitely a formidable team. Their only map they have lost the entire season has been Kings Road twice.
He mentioned it in the interview. Kings Row both times in their reverse sweeps over the Rox Orcas.
So it seems
All
like Kings
coming down to
Row,
that.
we are going to it as second map of the night. So
More than likely, but first we have to get through that randomly selected control map.
and that means if LW Red can win, Kings Row can go down 3-0. The answer, the only question mark on them is that Kings Row play. We know it's a favor of the Orcas, a map where Geggery can move over to her trademark Zarya. On attack and defense, Zarya big picking contenders, but almost unsighted in Apex Season 4 so far. Teams have messed with it, but not stuck with it. Interesting to see how it pans out in this particular series, but LW Red, very, very likely to be first seed, choose their opponent for the next round. So in a good spot to make a deep run into Apex Season 4.
Yeah, the victory here from the side of the Rox Orcas. Again, map win, very possible, more possible than we were expecting from Flashlux beating Kongju Panthera, so certainly could pull it out, but getting the full victory is where things get a little bit shaky here for this roster, but they have been showing improvement, as you mentioned. So can they transition that here into this series, upset LW Red, and deny them? Or do they want GC Busan on that first?
And look, they have lost 3-0 and 3-1, but they have been more competitive than the score lines have shown. Only 6 players, no substitutes, of course, coming in, but the Orcas do have some interesting strategies. They look like challenger teams at moments, but then look like Apex teams at other moments. So there is something about this team, and there's no guarantee it's going to be an easy series. LW Red haven't had a 3-0 so far in their Apex lifetime, so it going down to 3 maps would be something big for LW Red. And for the side of Rox Orcas, maybe they're not playing for GC Busan's first place spot, but they are playing, like we said a couple of times already, for their own fortunes going into the invariable Super Week in a couple of months' time.
Yeah, just want to be feeling as good as possible, have as much confidence as you possibly can for that tournament to ensure your return here into Apex Season 5 perhaps, to see what's going to be on the horizon here for us at OGN.
There's going to be more Korean Overwatch. There has to be. Some of our best players will go over to Overwatch late, but there still will be stars left in Apex, and both these teams want to confirm their status to move forward. It would be Rox Orcas moving forward into Apex Season 5, and LW Red moving forward, potentially assault some of the big favorites here. Get to see where we start. What should be a fun best of 5.
All right, well, let's go ahead and figure out what the first map is going to be for Control. We had Lee Jung Tower there in the first series, and we're going to get it yet again, Papa Smithy.
Seems like China is the order of business today here for Apex Season 4. Lee Jung's a fun one. Hopefully we see some more cool picks, because the Pharah was a big one for Flashlux in their victory. Will we see 2 upsets on Control and 2 upsets with some Pharah? That'd be a fun one to see.
Yeah, will we see the Widowmaker yet again?
Probably not.
I don't expect that one to come through. That was an interesting one for sure from Kongju Panthera Birdring, trying to operate that on Gardens, but likely it's going to be sticking with something a bit more standard here for the side of LW Red. But maybe we'll see those pharmacy comps come through.
And Rox's games were early in the season before Doomfist was as cemented, so their Doomfist playtime is a lot lower than most teams, especially a lot lower than LW Red. So will we see a pocket strategy or their own Doomfist player? Have to wait and see.
Well, they've had plenty of time to cook up some new strategies and try to surprise us and LW Red alike, so let's see if they can do just that here as we get ready to load in for our first map, LW Red versus Rox Orcas. We're looking to upset them, deny them that first place seed into the round of 8. Let's go ahead and load up for our first map of this best of 5 series with Lee Jung Tower yet again.
I get it.
All right. Orcas fans ready to go here in the audience. Popping off, one might say.
Multi-esport organization, of course, the Rocks Tigers, very, very famous League of Legends team. The Orcas, so far, have asserted themselves pretty well, even if they haven't picked up that big match victory yet. So, third and last time we will see them for Apex Season 4. We knew Wicked would be playing the Doomfist. Don't think he's going to be swapping, but Krong is actually going to be jumping onto it. Normally, Sombra and Soldier 76, when Rocks Orcas have played him in the past, it has been Striker flexing over to it. But Striker's their Tracer player. Tracer Doomfist is the duo, so let's see how Krong can do as a first-time Doomfist.
Perfectly even here as far as the compositions are concerned, but Krong needs to be outdoing Wicked here. Already pushes forward, has that rising uppercut kill in onto Legend. Moves out onto Jay Lee, and it's going to be Roar going down, so an exchange on the Winstons, but plus the support pick there for the side of the Rocks Orcas, and they will get that first cap.
Yeah, the Orcas actually played around a terrain advantage smartly. Usually it's risky to play around walls like they were doing, not allowing any sight lines. But they traded picks with the Doomfist, and 2-for-1 overall meant that LW Red would smartly pull away and not give away any free ult charge. See LW Red's second attack going around the side is smart, especially with Nene on the Tracer.
For an opening there, but gets spotted out. So try to jump in on top of Try. Get the opportunity
That's
for
some
now.
awkward English.
No kidding, these names aren't making it easy for him, but he finds 8 actually here in the end. Now follows up, gets
Nice.
both support members. And that is just going to be huge here from the side of Nene, now pushing, or backing out rather. As that pulse bomb just about ready to go, but wants to wait for the rest of the team to go ahead and push in, as it's about 40% here
Meteor
for the
strike.
side of the Orcas. Meteor Strike does come through Krong, dashing forward, will get taken out by 1J Lee. And that should be the flip going over to LW Red. A little bit of a delay there from Aid, but he's going to die in the end. So they'll get the flip just shy of 50%.
I want to say, though, Nene really living up to the hype from the Rocks Orcas in the pre-match interview, and also adding his name to a long list of impressive Korean Tracer players. Not even all of them in Korea anymore, as effects over in North America, but it's another one to add to what is now a laundry list of Tracer stars.
Quite a many few. Striker looking for an opportunity here for the pulse bomb. Not going to find the stick, just shy of it there. Be able to walk away with it. But doesn't find the kill, but it's still going to be LW Red coming up with the kills for themselves. Double kill for the Primal Rage coming through, and Rocks Orcas are just going to get swept under the rug. Legend to get picked off right at the end for that extra little bit of stagger. They will maintain control as they look to go ahead and surpass Rocks Orcas' percentage.
And whenever you can use the Primal Rage offensively on this point of Lijiang Tower, you are going to be blessed with multiple kills, both the damage and also the ability to get the kills around the terrain on the backside of the point. So valuable. But opening pick onto Nene is the Tracer. They can back away for a bit. That's a real good moment for the Orcas.
Dashing through, looking for a kill there. Onto the enemy Lucio, will not find it. Sound barrier comes down from Aid. Orcas looking to take the fight and try to find victory right here to get the flip coming back through. They nearly have it accrued.
Geggery.
Double kill coming through. Meteor
Double
strike,
double.
another double coming down. Nene and Roar both bite the dust, but Hotba finds one with the self-destruct, but it's not going to be enough to hold control. Rocks Orcas will get the flip, and that's a bit awkward.
Yeah, 1J Lee was booped out. He thought he was contesting the point with the Transcendence, but it was too late and off the terrain. So only able to go away with no ultimate charge. It cost their LW Red. Undisciplined play from a team that has been disciplined, and now 1J Lee's just dead.
Yeah, he's just going to get taken down. Striker finding that one, but they fire back as Wicked gets rid of Krong. So 2 kills over to the side of LW Red, but still have not been able to get back in onto the point. Nene's wrapping around the backside. He's got that pulse bomb ready to go, but will not need it. Roar finds the kill on the try right as that Transcendence becomes available. So maybe this could be the flip here from the side of LW Red. They'll at least have that support ultimate for the retake if it comes down to it. But for now, Rocks Orcas are looking to delay. Or will pop the Primal Rage, trying to smack them off the point. Pulse bomb comes through from Strikers. Not going to be finding any kills. Just the pop out onto Hotbud, knocking him out of the max. So still quite a good one here. Try will rejoin the team, popping that Transcendence, and now it's going to be overtime here as LW Red struggles to stay in the fight.
Have the Transcendence, of course, because
nice
it was wasted
hit.
on the other side. Yeah, we're seeing exit kills for Krong. Meteor Strike as well.
Comes
This
in
could
to
be
the
it.
backside, and nobody is there to contest this. He was so busy trying to get a kill that he doesn't go over to the point, and that's going to be night market for the Rocks Orcas.
Spray on the ground of "I'm sorry" from 1J Lee ended up being prophetic words from LW Red. That was surprisingly competitive, but I kind of said it in the pregame. LW Red may have been leveling up, like we said about MVP Space, But this is an old rivalry, one that often goes to the entire limit of a series, and it looked a lot more competitive than first versus last in the group would suggest. So no guarantee we're going to be going home in 3 quick maps, as Orcas at least will pick up a single round on Legion.
Very good start for these guys. That double-double, as you said, coming through. Just instantly popping 4 members. Meteor Strike plus self-destruct equals dead LW Red.
A double-double to rebound yourself back into point control. And I don't even know basketball terms, Achilles.
Well, that's an awkward miss there from Wicked. The concussive blast doesn't even hit the bridge, but he still has pretty decent accuracy with the remaining rockets here, as he nearly takes down 8, but he makes it into the shelter of the first point.
It's the first one to swap off surprisingly off the Doomfist. Does mean there's no answer to the Pharah easily on the side of Orcas when it comes to hit scan.
Needs to get one hell of a rising uppercut, try to take him down. You can see the shots are coming through. He goes low and has to just top back up there by 1J Lee. Will be the resident mercy for him, but Orcas yet again will get that first cap despite the fact that Try goes down.
Cap over to LW Red. They play on the point earlier, but now they can come back in LW Red 6v5 and with ults coming soon.
Striker just firing away, trying to build up for the pulse bomb. Nearly has it ready to go. He gets his, throws it in, gets the pop out onto Geguri, and they take her down. Pulse bomb answered. We'll find Roar, but there's no one really there from the side of Orcas to follow up, and the Reds will just be bringing back the Winston in the end.
It was
so
sort of
very swift retake.
And it was sort of first cap where you kind of felt a sinking feeling if you're a Rocksockers fan, even though you picked up the cap, because in the circumstances with Rez also available on basically the first true attack from LW Red, now you have to try to get back on the point, and they haven't made any adjustments in the lineup, so they have to deal with boosted rockets, which in Overwatch is a good thing.
Yes. Anything that's boosted in Overwatch is a pretty good thing, you'd have to say, unless it's your Lucio. But even then, there's applications for that. Sound barrier will come down from the Orcas as they push in, forcing out that primal rage from the side of Roar as they try to get the pop out onto Hotbot. Don't quite find him. Oh, but the fist finds Nene, throws him into the wall, and he goes down. Wicked able to answer one in onto Try. But that's about all he's been able to do here as LW Red just get absolutely slaughtered. Still have control. Looking for Arc as he dashes around the outskirts here of the point to try to keep this in contention, but he's been shoved so far back that it might just be the swap coming through.
Get back on the point right now. He's still playing around the outskirts. Back on. He still has sound barrier. Here he goes.
Yeah, they've managed to delay it this entire time. Throws on the sound barrier, but it's not enough to keep Nene alive. He does go down to that self-destruct in the end, and now Transcendence is invested by Try to just keep everybody into the fight, but they're still just buying so much time here from the side of LW Red. Wicked fighting his way back, stays alive, gets the boop off there. Finds Geguri, gets rid of her, but the flip has come through. Rocks Orcas will regain control, but LW Red, they delayed pretty well.
Been looking for a triple-double. Just was a double. The mech and also Diva, of course, went down. Sometimes you look at the kill feed and you're caught red-handed, Achilles, but still, OW Red got a lot more percentage than you would have thought in that particular engage because they kept on the point for a lot longer. They never used the barrage, so Wicked has it available.
Yeah, very forward fight coming through as Legend pops that primal rage and goes in. Right in front of the initial choke here. Gonna have to leap out, try to get the safety. Looks like he might be able to do so, but still has several members tailing him as Wicked comes in from behind. Throws down the barrage rather.
Can't really use it on the door because he's actually taking barrage damage himself, but instant res
coming through from 1J Lee just brings them all right back into the fight. Now suddenly Rocks Orcas are gonna be at a massive disadvantage. Striker goes in, gets rid of the enemy Mercy, but has to get out. Falls down to about 50. HP dashing in, trying to delay as long as humanly possible to stop this flip from coming through, because right now Orcas are at 77% going upward. They want to be forcing this out in the overtime. It seems like it's not going to happen because Legend, he just crumbles.
Yeah, Rocksockers trying to go in one by one to get up to 99%. So far, so good, but I think they're going to be denied. That should be the last kill as Lucio goes down. And there is the flip. 90% accumulated for the Orcas.
Yeah, still looking rather good here, but LW Red, they have multiple ultimates to try to maintain their hold here over the point.
First time we've seen a full commitment to the Pharmacy today. A lot of Pharah play, but it was with Zenyatta and Lucio as support. We'll see if they can build up another res as Orcas have to take different paths to the point.
Oh, Pulse Bomb comes through, finds Legend. Nene, this little stick coming down, but Arc will also eat a Pulse Bomb himself. But yeah, that's going to be Orcas just abandoning the fight, 8 jumping off the map, trying to get the reset, but it's 90% coming through. They need to get back in rather swiftly. Didn't see, maybe he got knocked off somehow, but 95%, this might just be LW Red claiming Gardens.
I see there's even a contest. Okay, finally was. Didn't spot who that was, but guess Tracer.
They do get it. Oh, Primal Rage has to be popped there by Roar to get himself back in onto the map. Transcendence thrown down by Try, pushing through. They have the sound barrier to chain in. It's going to be thrown down by both sides simultaneously. Barrage coming in. Does get rid of Krong, but they need so much more than that to maintain this hold. Close out the map. Self-destruct won't find anything, but Roar finds Geggery, but gets taken down immediately by Aid with a boom. And it's just an all-out battle. Rez coming back in just to bring the Winston through into the fight. And they'll even keep Hotbot in the mech. Absolutely brutal stuff here. And Rocks Orcas, yeah, everybody killed or knocked off the point. That will just plummet, and that will be the claim over Garden for them.
That was actually an impressive moment there that I think might have gone overlooked, was actually that we saw the boosted barrage kill through sound barrier the Doomfist.
Yeah.
A lot of considered damage there. You never want to overlap those ults, but for once, actually killing someone through sound barrier was a possibility. If you hit enough of those rockets with the boost, you do insane amounts of total damage that often goes overlooked, which doesn't come to pass in real game terms. Did happen that time through the window. Meant the Doomfist died with the Meteor Strike. Then we saw the D.Va go down as well. So happy times for LW Red. They do force the third round.
It's a much better barrage the second time around, we'd have to say. Got it through the window rather than into the wall.
And be close but no cigar with those barrages. A lot of penalty when it comes to the damage you take to yourself. As watching the comps here, we will see Krong jump onto his Sombra again. His most played previously means no Doomfist, but it's triple DPS from the Orcas.
Yeah, but already losing out onto 8. Arc wins the Lucio battle. It's going to be a bit damning here for them, so LW Red maybe looking for that initial cap. As we're now over onto Control Center.
Yeah, triple DPS is usually about getting the first cap because of the extra damage. Just DPSing down the front line, playing front to back by focusing the tanks, then getting the extra kills, and then using DPS ults to hold the point. When you have to attack a second time, it's a lot more awkward for the Orcas.
Cap is nearly there, hasn't been completed yet. It's just going to be an all-out brawl here onto the point. Punch coming through. Good for the pop out onto Geggery, but they still haven't managed to find it yet. She is just barely staying alive. Looks like they finally got the mech pop out, but the Rocks Orcas are the ones walking away with the multiple kills coming through. So should be their point for the take. Get that fast flip coming through. Just 11% accrued for LW Red.
Yeah, even though D.Va's not nerfed, of course, in this patch, it's much in the future. When you have triple DPS, it's not enough Matrix to stay alive through triple DPS. So credit to the Orcas. However, Krong is picked off screen as we're watching Striker looking for a flanking pulse bomb. So they lose their Sombra.
Gets spotted, throws it down, but it's not going to find the angle, not going to find the stick. It's a bit of a wasted one. He still has Nene sticking to him like glue, just following right behind him. Try to finish him off. He goes in, finds the kill on to Try. Aid going low, will get taken down by the Meteor Strike. There's no opportunity, a real window for him to use that sound barrier. Chooses to hold on to the support ultimate for the next fight when he's got all 6 members available. In the meantime, Roar has used the Primal Rage, finds 2 kills, getting rid of Krong and Geggery in that Baby D.Va form. And that should just be another fast swap coming through. 39% for the Rocks Orcas.
Can be a seesaw with these triple DPS comps. Been basically 2-2-2 over 85% of the time this season. We've moved away from some teams being triple DPS stars, some teams playing balance. Of course, the triple tank is an old story as well. Seeing it go left and right here between LW Red and the Orcas. This time, though, Sombra ult available. Krong went down first. Let's see if we can get a big EMP to make up for that.
He's running straight in, hasn't cast it yet. Gets jumped on, and he's just going to fall immediately after throwing down that EMP. Now Transcendence does get used by 1J Lee. Trying to keep everybody in the fight. They even have the sound barrier to try to follow up if necessary. Self-destruct from Geggery. He's not going to be finding a whole lot of anything. It seems like LW Red will just be holding on for the moment here. So they have surpassed the Rocks Orcas, now moving up just past 55%.
I'd actually really like to see Krong turn back to the Doomfist. Triple DPS Doomfist hasn't really been explored. The Sombra so far has not gotten them much, and we've already seen teams adapting to EMP engages so much sweeter in Apex Season 4, but he's going to stick with it for now.
Just trying to make this one work as best as humanly possible. Dive in coming through from Legend, gets that Discord Orb, and might be in a spot of bother as the sound barrier will get used by both of the Lucios.
Good trade for the side of LW Red, though, because, of course, no second support ultimate for the Orcas.
Couldn't use that self-destruct there. Had the hack coming through, so couldn't use it. So Hotbot just loses it out on the mech, likely with his life. Wicked goes forward, finds the uppercut, finds the kill onto Striker, but will get taken down immediately thereafter. Legend able to walk over to the Mega, the hacked one. That fast little bit of health to burst him back in, allow him to rejoin the fight as they look for the flip. About 75% of the way there. Now self-destruct thrown into the back line. Not going to be finding any pickoffs. And Krong gets the EMP back up, throws it in. But LW Red are still going to be maintaining control, and it's now into overtime. And they get Aid right off the bat. Now Try going down. There's no healing available for the Rocks Orcas, and that might just be Lee Jong going over to LW Red. And unless Orcas can pull off something crazy.
Yeah, no synergy with the EMP so far. No kills from it as the Orcas stream in. They want to try and delay this.
Making their way back in. Wicked has this Meteor Strike ready to go, but might not even have to use it. Finds the Seismic Slam kill onto Legend, and that will just be the end of Control Center and Lijiang Tower as LW Red picks up the first map.
Unfortunately, when they move back to an ult strategy in the Sombra, most played by Krong in Season 4, that's where, unfortunately, the Orcas that did underperform a little bit in previous series does rear its ugly head. They didn't have the synergy with the EMP. We saw 2, and neither of them led to a single kill from the side of the team using the EMP, which is madness given what we were seeing in Apex Season 3. Teams have gotten better at playing against it, and also the Orcas weren't coordinated playing with it. That strategy moves away. Amusingly though, now we move to hybrid. The Orcas have the choice. Surely it must be the one thorn in the side of LW Red. It must be King's Row.
I don't know. Not sure if they want to go for that one here, but given the track record from Rox Orcas, it does seem quite likely. And we see that King's Row come out. As you mentioned earlier on, it's that map where we could see the Zarya come through on attack or defense for Geguri.
And LW Red could lose this map, win 3-1, and have lost King's Row 3 times out of 3, and it'd be the only 3 maps they've ever dropped. So that's the sort of storyline that'll be fun to revisit in the round of 8. Let's see if it comes to pass. No, not at least for the second game. It usually goes 5 games between these two. Will have to be a 5th game hybrid choice of King's Row. There's a selection here, interestingly, from the Orcas, will be Eichenwald.
Yeah, one that I haven't seen in a while, Papa Smithy. It's been so much King's Row and Hollywood coming through, so I haven't gotten too many opportunities to cast this map, so I'm excited to go back to Germany.
Got to sit at home and watch some great Eichenwald play a few days ago, but actually in the casting booth, going to be a fun one to see. We've seen a bit of craziness here. Even the Orisas come out once in a while on defense on point A. No Junkrats, though. Apparently that's one patch away, but Eichenwald, it may not be King's Row, but we still see crazy stuff sometimes.
Yeah, maybe we will see that Orisa Torbjorn composition on defense for point A. Could see that come through, have a little bit of craziness to shake things up. Let's see what these guys have prepared for us. Rox Orcas, their map selection. They got to have something ready to go. They want to tie the score, make it a 1-1. Let's see if they can do that, or if LW Red will take match point.
I get it.
Alrighty, here we go. Rox Orca is going to be over on the attack. LW Red on defense. So far, not really showing us anything too crazy.
Farah has kind of been the hero of the day. It's been up and down in terms of pick rates earlier in Apex Season 4, but it's been one of the meta DPS picks today. As I mentioned the chance of defense Orisa. It doesn't seem like we're going to get it here, though.
Yeah, Hotbutt just kind of playing with our hearts here. We'll be going back into the spawn room.
Galloping back home.
Change
The
things
robot
up.
pony.
Just going to be the diva as he tries to give us all a headache. I'm already not feeling well, Hotbutt, please.
He just likes to be a troll. And he seems to be succeeding. See Wicked just punch up the house. Defensive Doomfist, predictable on Eichenwald. There are some chokes where you get massive value out of the Rocket Punch. Orcas for now showing Zarya, but it's not on Geguri, so people are a little bit less excited.
Yeah, you know, let's just run the triple tank with Legend on the Doomfist, who has shown prowess.
I mean, if you look at the comp, it's kind of a get Doomfist in there with as many shields and heals as possible, but of course it won't be coming. Going to be seeing some pharmacy action from the Orcas. Liked what they saw from LW
This is
Red
quad
running it.
DPS.
You're right. There's 4 of them. I can count. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's interesting. No Sombra even, so there's no soft healing. It's basically a Diva, a Mercy heal, and nothing else.
Yeah, this is just going to be trying to smash them as quickly as humanly possible without dying. Wicked waiting around the corner, will get spotted, jumps to the side with the rocket punch.
There's a lot of people for him to one-shot, though, that's for sure.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. He's trying to get on top of Krong here. He's just firing away from the skies alongside Aid. Backing him up, and they have a nice angle, and that's going to be Orc going down. Try to get taken out, but both supports already eliminated on the side of LW Red. And Roar will fall. Rocket to the face equals dead monkey, so Krong will get taken out of the skies eventually here. But Rox Orcas, despite this initial success, it hasn't really been translated into anything accrued on the point. Building up now towards 33%.
The thing to
This does
remember,
give more time for
Kilios,
LW to re-engage.
is with the quicker runbacks, especially with the DPS heroes often being very mobile, if they keep trading up, eventually they will have a numbers advantage. So, hasn't necessarily failed yet. Geggery not having mech is a big problem, and her being slept will continue the pain. They need the Diva. She is the key member here. They chase her down. It's going to be a while till they have the Diva.
Yeah, nice little delay coming through there. 1J Lee able to get that final shot in, then finish her off. As LW Red tries to build up for these ultimates, but already the swaps are coming through. Try going to move off that soldier. Goes over to the Zenyatta. Wants to be a bit more consistent with the healing here for Rox Orcas. So, just over to triple DPS, which is still a bit of a rare treat for us.
Triple DPS, like you say, it was like a Season 3 special, Season 2 as well, but Season 4 almost entirely has been 2-2-2. Striker gets the first pick, and it's on to Nene, so he wins the Tracer battle.
Pulse bomb onto the enemy Tracer, going to be a nice start here, but losing out on the Legend hurts them quite a bit. Double kill from Hotball with the self-destruct, gets rid of Krong and Try. And they follow up rather swiftly there onto 80 yet again, looking for the chase down onto the Diva as the defense matrix to try to stay alive, and it seems like Geggery will be able to retreat successfully this time around. So no stagger there.
Would have been really big if they got Geggery's mech, because she's at 97% of the self-destruct.
There's a map you can actually jump off of, though,
Sure.
so would have been just the stagger coming through rather than the full deny.
Any stagger is golden when you're close to a full hold. Only a single tick has so far been claimed by the Orcas. They've tried full innovation in this particular series, and for now, not working. A double pulse bomb, and maybe it's all over for Rox Orcas.
Try going down right off the bat. It's not going to be a good time here for Orcas. They have the res available, and that's going to be bringing them back in. In the meantime, Barrage from Krong does get rid of Hot Buzz back. Will stay alive. Destruct from Geggery finishes off the enemy Diva, and it seems like Rox Orcas might finally have the opening that they were looking for. Roar, with no primal range available, can only do so much to delay. As Nene rejoins the fight, trying to back him up, but and again, second tick not coming through quite yet. They will be able to get it just now. Can they get the completion? It's 54 seconds on the clock, and LW Red going all out to try to get this defense pulled off.
Waiting to see. It's still ticking up. Here's 1J Lee. He has the nano boost. It's going to use it on Doomfist.
Throw it down onto Wicked. Try coming back in with a res. Will get punched, but that's going to be the Transcendence. Perfectly timed to keep himself alive, and Wicked will get taken down. Legend in the meantime, the other Doomfist, gets rid of 1J Lee, and we might just have this cap coming through for Rox Orcas here. Right at the end, 25 seconds remaining on the clock. Cleanup crew is the job here for Krong as he tries to get rid of Roar. Will be able to do so with the help of that Discord Orb. And they're just trying to delay as much as possible now, LW Red, but they will go ahead, lose out on that point A. 2 minutes, 40 seconds on the clock for Orcas for the Streets phase.
Successful push, but came after the quad DPS, just ended up running the time bank down rather than actually building a larger one, as you want to do.
This feels so bad to watch. Swap away right as you get the barrage available, but Krong wants to go for the Genji instead.
So many ways to outplay a Pharah, in particular when he can dive in and out of the fortifications during the Streets phase here, so it does feel bad. It's probably the right decision, and Wicked will be going on the always new soldiers. Nice defense matrix usage there.
Yeah, in the meantime, Striker up onto the high ground. Pulse bomb comes through, finds Wicked and 1J Lee. Double kill over to him, make it a triple as he finishes off Nene. And that means that cart is going to get some distance.
We wondered who will be on the Doomfist. They move Striker onto the Tracer. It's more played hero this season and vindicating it with some very nice play in that round. Krong's also farming up the Dragon Blade at a decent pace, so they're going to get decent meterage here and take a while for the rest of LW Red to get in position. And Wicked's actually swapped a third time. They've given up high ground control, and they're on the Genji.
Yeah, I mean, the payload has already moved so far forward. They need to play down and dirty here on the ground, try to assassinate the support members of Rox Orcas, but right as they get on to try, he goes ahead and pops that Transcendence to keep himself alive, and they will just hound down Wicked and Nene, both DPS members getting taken out. Final one onto aid. Maybe it's a little bit of pressure, but this payload is still moving rather unhindered. They might just have to surrender point B.
Trace is going to contest it first. Hotbot coming in, does have self-destruct. They can buy a lot of time here if they feel like they have a realistic chance of repelling, and the terrain is great to defend as well. A pick onto try, and Rox Orcas do disengage. They now will only have one attack to actually try to force point B completion. So he ran down so much time on point A.
I mean, Krong does have the Dragon Blade, but he's got to get through 1J Lee with that Transcendence. So as long as 1J Lee times that perfectly, should be able to turn the fight around. Rocks Orcas, 35 seconds remaining on the clock. Have to go all out on this push, and yet again, they're swapping Legend over.
They can bait out 1J Lee's Transcendence to be so big.
Pulse Bomb thrown down, but they're not going to be finding anything with it. In the meantime, Krong draws out the Dragon Blade, looking for a pick.
Transcendence.
But he is just going to be dropping off the map, and that might just be it here for the side of the Rocks Orcas. They're trying to chase down onto Geguri. She makes it back over to the gateway. Yeah, she's just going to use the self-destruct. They know that this is going to be it. 10 seconds remaining, and LW Red will hold Rocks Orcas off right in front of point B.
Yeah, it felt like Orcas needed to be a bit more creative, find a way to actually bait out
Are they
the
gonna go for
Transcendence.
this?
They couldn't do it. Will they even get there? I don't think so. Okay, they are able to contest, so we keep going.
They get the tag, they get the sound barrier thrown in, but they already used so many tools, including that self-destruct. Speaking of which, Hotball throws out his, finds Legend with the pick. They get 1J Lee, which is a nice little takeaway, and onto Roar. Can they pull this off? Wicked drops down onto the planks, keeps himself alive. And Hotba, he's trying desperately to keep this in contention, but actually, Rocks Orcas might be able to do it in the end.
The ultimate is drawn here as we could get a couple, buying time. Are they going to get any respawns on here? They do, and here's Wicked.
Dashback comes through now. Wicked gets the slice and dice in onto 8, takes him down, looking for a little bit more, gets Legend in the end. And LW Red seems like they will be able to hold this off after all. But that was damn close. Rocks Orcas almost got that completion, almost got a second lease on life. But now LW Red effectively have to go to point B to win Eichenwald.
Wicked was a star in that particular one. It looked like he was just dashing and got a single pick, bought time, ducked out, did not use the Dragon Blade. Because he was like, okay, if we can't hold this, I'll have it for point C defense. Realized the respawns were coming in and then got value out of the Dragon Blade. Great Genji play from a player we had pigeonholed as a Doomfist only. The great stuff from him really did the rounds on defense.
But I mean, you have to really question the use of that self-destruct by Geguri when she got chased down. Had she had that available, the zone back, given how close they were to completing on point B, might have been enough to get that completion, to keep their hopes alive here, to move into the castle phase. But because she used it at such an odd time, seemingly just kind of giving up on the round, that potentially could have been their completion. But instead, Rocks Orcas, they don't quite make it to B, and now LW Red just has to push it right there to walk away with another map win to move to match point.
We didn't have the camera angle to see what was happening on the cart when she sent it out. It looked unlikely, like you say, but without full information, didn't have the perfect read. Looked like a waste from our perspective, but we'll cast that aside as we focus on the Orcas defense, and we'll be running the Tracer Doomfist, becoming more and more common on point A defense. Try will be predictably on the Ana, given that you can duck into the house, and will only really be punished if the Meteor Strike is farmed up, and right now LW Red don't have a Doomfist to their name.
Seems like they'll be operating without one. Could see Wicked coming through on the Pharah. Seems like that might be the play. 1J Lee is on the Mercy. Should see them stick through with this. How quickly can they take point A? Need to do it a bit more rapidly than we saw from the Rocks Orcas.
And no guarantee that you get as advanced towards point B when you're on attack on Eichenwald. On the more difficult streets phase to complete. Have to get most of the way through, as it is the pharmacy, and for now at least the rocket's not connecting.
Got the damage boost coming through, but needs to have the accuracy to really make it work. See the lead coming through there from Legend, trying to stay in the fight. The defense matrix chewing up a lot of these rockets that otherwise would be hitting, but Striker is going to be the first one to go down as Nene finds the kill. Out on that Tracer battle, trying to build up for that pole spot, or leaping forward will be taken down by Geguri, but the openings are coming through here still. As Wicked finds the kill in onto 8. If he can get Try, might as well just be the first point going over to the side of LW Red. For now, has not happened. Haven't even gotten that first hit.
It seems a bit like a monkey pacifist. He's hitting other people, but not the monkey so far.
Well, there you go. Finally finds the monkey right as he said it. So
found his killing blow.
Caster Blessing coming through from Papa Smithy.
That's what I was looking for.
Caster bias.
Be biased sometimes. LW Red will be able to pick up point A. Not going to be a defense here. No one's going to trickle in. They're trying to just occupy the high ground on the streets phase. And we did see a swap off of Pharah when we did see the streets phase approached by Orcas. So interesting to see if Wicked will actually use the barrage.
You might as well stick through it, try to get an opening here as Rocks Orcas are operating around that high ground, so if you can get it on top of them. Throw it on the barrage, maybe you can come up with a couple kills and really just allow for that payload to move forward rather swiftly. They'll go ahead, jump up, and Krong's going to be the first one that goes down. So already good openings there. Nene going low, doesn't have the recall available. Seems like he got himself out to safety in the end.
Soldier not contesting the high ground means they are getting value out of the Pharah that we saw swapped off by the Orcas. But Krong will reclaim high ground as Boosted Monkey jumps in.
Will be jumping in again. Not the nicest thing, but oh, Wicked just didn't quite have the angle. Will get res back in alongside Arc, but that was a little bit embarrassing, you'd have to say, at the end of the day. Arc getting taken down by the pulse bomb. Puts things back up a little bit here for the Rocks Orcas as they try to maintain control over the card. Daily and Wicked trying to exit safely, will be able to do so, but Krong actually snipes out the Mercy at the end of the day. And now Wicked, all on its lonesome, is just getting jumped on by Winstons and Divas alike.
It's just Wicked, they're not even interested in killing him too fast because of his low health bar.
He stays alive in the end. Krong might not be able to say the same. Gets knocked away from the Biotic Field, gets back in, and actually gets a shot from Try. Stays alive at the moment, but so many people just chasing him down will kill him in the end. The payload just keeps moving forward for LW Red. 3 minutes 45. Go ahead and complete this.
Krong thought he was playing Overwatch, but he was playing pinball in that particular version. We'll be able to respawn with Tac Visor, but not for now. Heart's already moved most of the way towards the goal here for LW Red. Still plenty of time, but 1J Lee dying will slow things down.
This push has been a bit loopy from both sides. They do gain control here, the Rocks Orcas. See how long they can hold on to this one. Wicked is swapped over onto the Genji. Trying to open things up here for LW Red, get that card completed. Striker going low yet again, just duking it out with Nene.
He will jump onto the Genji to be able to contest Soldier, rather than just be potentially free food for the Tac Visor Soldier.
For the wraparound, but everybody from LW Red is up onto the high ground now, leaping in. Takes Striker rather low, recall takes him away from that leaping Winston. Can he find an opening for the pulse bomb is going to be the big question. Self-destruct gets thrown out there, but it's not going to be finding anything for Hotbot. Now the Nanovisor from Krong is trying to find a target, but the defense matrix and the sound barrier from Arc just chew up all of that damage. And Krong is going to get jumped on, goes low, and has to try to retreat. Finds a kill on a Hotbar, pops him out of the mag. Seems like Rocks Orcas will be winning this fight. Wicked is able to trade one back, but very much it's going to be Orcas coming up with the kills. Arc will get jumped on, will go down, and they will get halted yet again.
Yeah, LW Red were able to draw out a lot of defensive ultimates, but not able to trade up. They're close to ultimates themselves, and there should be a significant advantage. The Nanovisor got so little value. They still won the defense, but you look at that from an objective analytical perspective and you say, okay, well, they used everything to get very low reward for how much they had. So the next push should be successful for LW Red, and the next push would win them the round.
Krong's gonna go down, follow up, straight in on to Try and aid. Both supports getting taken out, and 1J Lee ensuring his survival with that Transcendence will even help take down Gregory in the end. Will fall right at the end there. Legend finds the kill, but this is very much just the killing fields for LW Red as they swoop through, scoop up Rocks Orcas, and throw them off a cliff.
They don't need to use anything to do it. Competitive Overwatch is like this. When you over-invest, you get punished in a big way. And LW Red have all the ultimates to close out Iconfall.
Okay, pulse bomb ready to go. Looking for a target. Gets rid of Striker, he throws it in, and now Wicked goes low, draws up the Dragon Blade, gets taken down by Try at the end. But it's still just a few more meters left to go, and Hotbutt comes up with the double kill, gets rid of that pesky Lucio for the delay tactics, and that will be the completion on Iconbolt, and LW Red will go ahead, take match point, looking for a 3-0.
Rookie mistakes from Rocks Orcas, you'd have to say tonight. They're looking a bit more like their challenger selves today. I mean, to reality a little bit, LW Red have been able to fast adjust to the Apex meta. And Orcas just have these moments where they use ultimates suboptimally or they stack too many. And while it's not quite support ultimates being used at the same time, it feels like that because you see immediately the result when they suboptimally use Nanovisor on the other ults. Then the reclaim comes through, LW Red get their first push, they have all the ults to close it out. LW Red look like the tighter team, and while the highs of the Orcas have made it competitive, the reality over the longer stretch has been LW Red looking considerably the better team.
Yeah, absolutely. Rough stuff here for the Orcas. So very close. Yet again, it was just a game of inches to get that push in on to B, but those few mistakes coming through, that self-destruct, those things that really could have turned the tide. Just didn't go their way.
And I hope that they, when they do their vote review this season, watch back and they realize they'll feel so close about all 3 matches, but it's the decision-making and the macro strategy that really lets them down.
Yeah. Well, they need to tighten things up here as we move over to what could be the final map of the night of this best of 5. Assault. Could it be the deciding factor here for LW Red to close out the series? Rocks Orcas still have a chance to play spoiler. Actually, no, they don't. Never mind. 3-2 is what would not play spoiler. So I take that one back, but they have a chance to pick up some wins. Let's see if they can do that when we come back from a short commercial break. So don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen.
에너지가 필요한 순간 핫식스와 함께 핫하게 즐겨라. 올여름 가장 핫한 리그 오버워치 핫식스 에이펙스.
Game, record, and stream without compromise.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're now at match point. LW Red leading the series 2-0 over the Rocks Orcas. So definitely a bit of a change of pace here for these guys who have historically always gone to 5 maps, but might be changing here today. LW Red looking rather strong, and the Rocks Orcas kind of faltering a bit, going back to what we saw from them from their first series, where there was some promise, there were some good moments, but overall it wasn't good enough to beat their opponent.
Yeah, the Orcas are no walkovers, but they're making crucial mistakes, decision-making mistakes often, rather than micro plays that are really letting them down when it comes to actually taking rounds or pushing the cart to a realistic defense ability for them. So now we're already backs against the wall. We're going to be moving on to Assault. The decision is a lot of Volskaya play in these Orcas series, so Hanamura earlier today. Volskaya likely, but happy to accept whatever comes up. And LW Red, they've been showing something different. Wicked playing heroes other than Doomfist has been something to put pause to people in future rounds, trying to really understand what LW Red are all about. Because remember, they will have a first seed. They will be choosing their opponent. And yet, we've seen the Doomfist strategy, and only today we're seeing the other strategies that they're also able to pilot to success.
What will they have for us here? On Assault is my question for the Rocks Orcas. See where these guys and lady would like to go for here on Assault. This is, backs against the wall, do or die time if they want to pick up some victories before that promotion tournament that looms on the horizon.
Speaking of horizon, we could see that even.
That's what I was just thinking here, and maybe it's going to happen. No, never mind.
It's always Volskaya.
All
the
right.
Rocks.
Volskaya
Orcas.
it is. Picked it against a Freak, so why not go ahead and pick it here in this matchup as well.
Well, some Sombra in our first series. You see Sombra often on Volskaya, but we had a grand final where we saw Reaper on this map. Doomfist also a possibility. Let's see if Volskaya will bring us something new to cap off what's been a fun day of Apex, even if the overall winners have not really been in doubt.
Alrighty, well, Volskaya Industries stage for what could be the end of this best of 5, the end of the Rocks Orcas run here in Apex Season 4, as LW Red cannot be denied that first place spot. As you said, they will be leaving the group in first, GC Busan behind them in second. 2 teams clawing their way in from the Challenger Tournament, make their way into Apex Season 4, took down the Freak of Freaks, and now we'll be taking down longtime rival Rocks Orcas from the Challenger Series. So let's go ahead and see if they close this one out, or if Rocks Orcas will just delay their taste of victory for a little bit longer as we move on to Volskaya Industries.
I get it.
Fans hanging in there for the Rocks Orcas, hoping to see those map victories come through. The reverse sweep here in this best of 5.
An epidemic in general esports recently of reverse sweeps, but be a strong betting man to choose this as one of those spots. Orcas right now are showing the Sombra, which is Krong's most played on the season, but what went from Volskaya being guaranteed Sombra versus Sombra battles over big health backs, a little bit more generalized now that the Sombra efficiency in Season 4 and the EMP value has gone way, way down. There's still plenty of EMPs, there's been no balance changes. But and one of the coolest parts of a more settled hero choice like that, we are seeing teams getting better at playing around what Sombra provides. LW Red can largely relax. They are with 3 map points as Nene and Raw have a tete-a-tete.
It's a shadow puppet show for free, and Nene just decides to shoot him in the head.
I bet he's a lot of fun at parties.
How ungrateful.
We'll be opening Sombra, but we'll find out very soon there is no defensive Sombra.
Nope, not going to be matched here as Krong starts pushing his way in.
So the triple DPS from Rocks Orcas as well. On attack, they have run triple DPS every time.
They'll be pushing through here. Striker dropping onto the low ground. Tries to kill on the 1J lead, but it's not able to do so. He's in a bit of a tough spot here. You see the poke forward there from Krong. Does get that hack onto the Mega. in the side room.
To be decisive when you're the defensive team against triple DPS. So far, so good, but you can see Hopper's mech. That's going to go down first. That's big for triple DPS.
Yeah, we'll get popped, and Roar is sitting on top here. Down to about half HP. Keeps the team up on the high ground. They will be able to get rid of Hotbot to start things off, and now 33%. Not too far away here for the side of the Rocks Orcas as they look to get this first tick at least going through. It's that hit from the side as Wicked looks for the kill, but it's still going to be Rocks Orcas widely coming out on top here as the point still keeps ticking upward. About to be 50% here for them. Now being delayed by Arc, but can only do so much. Will get taken down to the end, as does 1J Lee, and that's going to be just the first point going over to the side of the Rocks Orcas in a rather swift fashion. 6:45 on the clock as they get ready to go for B.
That is why triple DPS has been a favorite on attack, as triple DPS is one of the best ways to burn through D.Va defense matrix. You do not have enough duration, even pre-nerf, to deal with triple DPS, specifically a soldier. Just dump damage into the large model size of the D.Va. So you get point A at a good time to Rocks Orcas. Still far too early to talk about things like reverse sweeps, but a good point A completion for Orcas.
Krong looking for a good EMP. Will be jumping up onto the high ground, throws it down, looking for the target, tries to get in onto Arc, but he's just going to get taken out right before that sound barrier comes down from Aid. Answering kill from Striker, finds Nene. The Meteor Strike won't be getting any kills here for Wicked, and actually gets killed on the exit. The Seismic Slam is not fast enough to take him out to safety. Self-destruct, buying a little bit of time, a little bit of space here onto the point for the side of Rocks, as they try to get that first tick coming through on this first assault. Being halted here for the moment as Nene comes dashing around, has that pulse bomb ready to go to try to get Gregory out of that mech if need be, but seems like LW Red will be able to come up with that pick. In the end, we'll be able to just go ahead and stave off Orcas for the moment. Don't have to invest too much into it.
Yeah, the D.Va's very out of position as well. The team isn't grouped at this point, so it's going to be a bit undisciplined for the Orcas. It's going to take so much longer for them to actually be able to attack a 6. D.Va only now gets chased down. Tried for a snowball cap, didn't find it. Krong already has the EMP backup, such as when you run a solo Sombra, you have even more health packs access, and thus you will almost always have EMP. But the first one, just like the ones we've seen so far tonight, and specifically this series, have had very little reward.
But 1J Lee also has that Transcendence ready to go, so if he's quick on the trigger, can go ahead and deny out that EMP from Krong in the meantime. Heard it. Striker threw out the pulse bomb. Didn't find any targets with it, however. We'll have to build up for another one. Transcendence already been used.
Okay.
by
Maybe he
1J
thought
Lee.
he saw the translocator? That's a strange one.
Not quite sure what happened there.
Not really one you can afford to fat finger against Sombra, so could be a big cost here. Let's see if Orcas can actually turn this into a cap when Striker regroups with the team.
Yeah, it was way too late for it to have been forced out by the pulse bomb, so not sure what really triggered it there from 1J Lee, but either way could be quite costly for them. Especially if Arc throws down the sound barrier and has that shielding negated. Krong's going to be pushing forward, looking for the opening.
Arc needs to be out of the line of fire here. He's the only one with an answer.
He gets spotted out, but they lose Legend right off the bat, so maybe Orcas just decide to peel back. See, they're playing a little bit hesitantly.
Strange to see Orcas continue to not fully engage with Krong's EMPs. They're a bit all at sea. That allows the LW Red to get more time. 1J Lee somehow has got 70% back of his Transcendence when EMP has been available for Krong the whole time. They need to be decisive with their engage. All LW Red is doing is having Arc hide as far back as possible to come in with a late sound barrier. You can't be as proactive as you can be with the Transcendence. Speaking of proactive,
Sound barrier opening coming through here for the Rocks Orcas as they look for the push forward. Self-destruct buys a little bit of time for LW Red to regroup and get in onto the point, but Wicked gets taken down first and foremost, and now it's a Transcendence out from Dry to keep them in the fight. Krong still has the EMP. Hasn't had the opening to use it, but might be finding one rather soon. The self-destruct gets tossed in, but yet again not going to be finding any picks here for the side of Gregory, and Hop Off popped out of the mech. Seems like Rocks Orcas want to go all in on that fight. EMP will finally come down, but Arc has a sound barrier to follow up right after to help keep everybody else in the fight, but they've already lost out on to 3. Wicked immediately goes down yet again, hasn't found an opportunity to even use this Meteor Strike to try to open up the point here for the team.
they may even have to use to get back on the point as they're very behind in members on the position.
I mean, they're just getting shredded. Hoppa goes in, gets popped out of the mech, gets taken down immediately. Now Roar, big onus on him to try to delay this. Meteor Strike will finally get popped here by Wicked, looking for a target. Dropping in, gets the prediction on the 8 who went up onto the high ground, but they immediately get rid of the Doomfist yet again. And now it's desperation time here on 2CP. 1J Lee going over onto the Mei, pops up the wall, but doesn't get behind it. In fact, is still exposed and gets taken down by Geguri. Arc riding the wall, trying to keep this delay going through.
So he's doing a lot of healing here, Arc. Already a third of the way towards his next ult. I think they might have repelled it here.
They're still looking for it, but it's another EMP coming down into a sound barrier from the side of the rocks. Orcas and Try has actually swapped over onto this Reaper for a triple DPS to come through yet again. Roar pops that Primal Rage, but has to exit. The Reaper could just choose straight through the Winston, even with the Primal Rage. He has to get out, and it's still just going to be multiple kills coming through the rocks. Orcas now at 83.1%, looking for the completion right here. Wolf Bomb's coming down, not going to be finding anything. Actually, the one from Nene gets rid of 8, buys a little bit more room here for LW Red, but they're still barely holding on by a thread, and that might just be it. Hotba has come through, will get taken down. 1J Lee yet again with the Mei. Helps keep himself alive with the wall. Gets the freeze in, gets the headshot. 95% here for the Orcas, and it's just an all-out brawl.
This is the essence of two-point capture, but the staggers here have been good. They got a couple of kills, but no kills for a while for the side of LW Red on defense. Watching Hopper, jumped onto the zone, but can't quite get the EMP. And finally, the completion for the Orcas.
Yeah, thank you for closing that one out there, Papa Smith. He had to get a drink of water at the end. 2 CP plus sickness means Seth has to cough every now and then, so lull indeed. But no lulls in the action. That was an all-out brawl there on the point that Rocks Orcas were eventually able to force out, but the clock was drained significantly.
Yeah, the eventuality of it was delayed by quite a lot. It was a 6-minute plus time bank, whittled down by the side of LW Red. Krong held on to the EMP for what felt like about 2 durations, of which he could have built it up again and just used it. That's just the reality of Sombra versus no Sombra, but at least they picked up the full push. They were able to take it with a minute 12 left in the time bank. So something LW Red will be able to improve on, you'd have to imagine, if they are able to full complete Volskaya.
We'll see what the strategy is going to be. Likely not going to be seeing any Sombra here from them, but Krong, no surprise, still going to be operating with that on the defense.
The good thing about Doomfist versus Sombra is that you see what happens when Doomfist is hacked. He just basically dies, he's not very tanky, can't use his abilities to get shield, he's free food. But on the first attack, he is very strong against Sombra, because Sombra's usually pretty predictable. But where she's playing largely around a corridor or a health pack, wants to use a translocator to be tricky. You need to translocate damn early if you don't want to get squished by a rocket punch. You are very squishy. So there is the potential for Wicked to return to his Doomfist success ways that he's been very consistent with on this season. Triple DPS again from the Orcas. They have decided that they will be the team to break the meta. They are triple DPS to the last, apparently.
Trying to make it work. Saw how successful it was on attack. Let's see if they fare just as well here on defense.
Of course, the downside is that if the Winston leaps on you and you die instantly, then, well, the defense is pretty ruined, so...
Especially if your aid that goes down. The
A
healer, his positioning has to be really on point here for the Orcas to find success.
You don't often see, when you see triple DPS on defense, you don't often see Lucio. It's usually an Ana to try to take over sightlines. You're very likely to be out of position as Lucio, so you can't heal people on the other side. Try, for example, is all alone, so this is a bit different from the Orcas.
He's a little bit self-sufficient, at least with the biotic field, but how much that's going to benefit him, we'll find out. For now, it's just going to be LW Red piling into the side room. Yeah, exactly. Daring them to enter. It's a nice punch in onto Legend, taking him down to about half HP, but no kills going to be coming through quite yet. They get the pop out onto Geguri's mech. So still going to be a decent enough opening here for LW Red. And now the kills starting to spill over. Legend and Striker both going down. That rocket punch finds the Tracer, takes her out rather swiftly. Trying up onto the high ground, has to leap down. Is able to contest with Roar, but the boot from Arc takes him out, and 8 will go down. Another rocket punch delivered by Wicked. Comes up with the kills. Geguri, yet again, out of the mech, will just fall immediately, and Krong goes down before he can even use the EMP, and that should be a very, very fast point A take here for the side of LW Red, yet again, just like we saw from Orcas.
Yeah, the Orcas try to be creative, but I really don't like Lucio with triple DPS. He cannot output the healing post-nerf to be able to even assist 2 DPS at the same time, let alone 3.
A Zenyatta would make more sense,
Zen,
but...
Ana, either of the 2, I think, are the choice there, so... Didn't work. Does mean they're going to have a sound barrier for point B, so at least with the inevitable fall, he does have something to work with on point B, more than a nano boost perhaps would be able to do, but they have an EMP as well.
Well, can't be doing much sound barriering here when he gets taken out immediately. Wicked comes up with that kill. Attack visor thrown down by Try, looking for a target. Finds Wicked, but the Meteor Strike actually denies the kill, and he gets jumped on by Roar, who comes up with that. He'll be dropping down.
Health pack's
Taking the
hacked.
health pack, doesn't get the punch, but it doesn't matter. Nene is there to pick up the pieces. Helps keep him alive, at least for a little bit longer, but Striker is there. Go ahead and scoop it up in the end. The Rox Orcas still suffering pretty heavy losses here at the moment. And it's going to be LW Red starting to build up percentage, and it's already do or die time here for Orcas as Tri swaps immediately over to that Mei.
You see Mei, you know that it's already, like you say, panic stations. We're watching 1J Lee, who staying back, rejudging the situation, double support ultimate up, but they're waiting for Wicked to get here. They don't have to over push.
There we go, that's going to be Sound Barrier opening up, and they get rid of Try right off the bat. Before that, Sound Barrier can come through from Aid. Legend going low, manages to stay alive, but Gagery's going to get popped out of the Mac, and she'll go down swiftly thereafter. Krong, and by a little bit of time while he's invisible, drops down that EMP and immediately assassinates 1J Lee, but pays for that one with his life. It seems like that might have been the crucial opening that they desperately needed to deny that first hit coming through. They will go ahead, clean up the kills here onto LW Red and hold them off for a little bit longer.
Yeah, Striker ran rampant after the EMP was used, picked up the clean out, and forces LW Red to disengage. It couldn't get a single tick with the sound barrier, but they know no support ultimates are up for the Orcas. The Orcas back away, and surprisingly Try is going to open up with a dry Torbjorn with no ult charge. Very strange to see on this particular case.
That sentence made me cringe.
Dry Torbjorn,
Yeah,
it's
for
not your
some
thing?
reason.
Don't Google that, by the way.
No, there's definitely some poor results that can come up from that one. Turret will
Speaking
go
of
down.
poor results.
And Nene finds the kill. Just tries to, again, doubling down on that word. Tries to stay alive, will get taken out, but the rest of his team is still doing some work. 1J Lee and Arc both go down, so all is not lost here for the Rox Orcas currently. They hold on by a thread. And then going low, it's got that pulse bomb and that health pack to help keep him in the fight. Nade's going to get knocked off the map, it seems.
You'd expect the LW Red DPS to back off a little bit earlier, because the only way you'd overstay when both supports went down was for ult charge, and they already had their ultimates, so it's time to get out. Can be hard to evacuate though, and there's going to be significant delay, so any hopes of a massive time bank for LW Red are already starting to be dashed, down to sub 4 minutes.
Not looking great. Do have 3 ultimates available here for the push, but going up against the 4 of the Rox Orcas, and none of those 3 are support ultimates. So staying in the fight is going to be rather difficult.
The Ultra Support Ultimate of the Molten Core is halfway done by Try, who for some reason still on at the Torbjorn.
He getting dropped in here by Krong, looking for the pick. The uppercut in onto the Winston. They help take him down, but a triple kill comes through from Gagery. She says, hell no, get out of my point. Takes down 3, including both supports. And yet again, LW Red are going to be shoved back to the spawn.
And even if they go down today, the personal highlight reel of Gagery just got a little bit longer with the triple kill on the Div. It's not the Zarya that everyone hopes and prays for, her famous hero that got her attention around the world, but triple kill on the Diva was very, very nice. There we see Gagery's perspective, jumping around in joy.
Still able to deliver here for her team, even in such a dire situation. It'll be an all-out brawl here in the side room as Striker gets taken out first and foremost. Sound Barrier will come through a little bit late from the Rox Orcas, but they want to take the fight right here. It drops in with the Meteor Strike, but will not be finding any kills for the moment. In the meantime, Try, he's got that Molten Core ready to go, firing away, looking for a target, but Transcendence is thrown down by 1J Lee, and it's going to be LW Red spilling in onto the point, looking to go ahead and finish things off right here, right now. Try gets jumped on, he gets taken out as Wicked comes up with a double kill, Seismic Slam to get rid of the Torbjorn. EMP yet again thrown out by Krong, but he gets answered for very swiftly, as does Aid, and now Rox Orcas are back into desperation mode. Try swaps over to the Mei, Legend has that primal rage, but he gets taken down and focused so very quickly and easily by LW Red, and they might just have this completion.
Off the point.
He is off the point, punch coming through. Wicked yet again just gatekeeping for his team. They will get the completion. About 37 extra seconds over top the Rox Orcas.
The move onto the Mei denied there from being another one of those insane kickdowns of time banks on 2-point capture. Might be eventually claimed by LW Red. So we will also be seeing the Rox Orcas on attack first. Will they be sticking with the triple DPS that has been their staple today? Not sure on the value. They waited on the Molten Core, and then it led to precisely nothing as D.Va used Defense Matrix, the turret died, and so did the Torbjorn. But they signed a contract for no double support today. Triple DPS, the only way that Roxorcas want to play.
All right, well, 149 to 112, so still going to be very tight-knit times here for either side. Orca's going to be starting things off on the attack. We'll see what they want to run, if it's going to be that triple DPS, and it seems like it might just be, as Try is currently hovering over the Soldier 76.
See if the formation is a bit more respectful this time from LW Red. We saw what happened on attack from the Orcas. Last time out when they ran triple DPS, they have Ana, who is super good at just dumping heals into a D.Va if they have the right formation. If she can just stay focused on a single tank, very hard to kill them unless the Ana is pressured out of sightlines. So they have the formation. They have to know triple DPS is 80% plus the likely opening from the Orcas. So let's see if LW Red can adapt like top teams can.
Here we go. On to the attack to try to decide it all here in this series. Roxorcas
Speed
needs
boost
this
is
victory.
early.
It is, and 8, he's just going to go down. Wicked finds that opening kill. This little pick off, and that should already drain a significant amount off the clock here for the Roxorcas. Wrapped around the back side with no healer. And honestly, do you just try to proxy 8?
I think they're going to try and get a little bit of value from the Sombra hacking, and they got 1 health back onto the Sombra herself. Proxying the Lucio is a strategy that's been used a couple of times to great success, but let's see an all-out brawl in the big health back area. They're playing around that Sombra health back, the Orcas.
That again is the staging ground here for the fight. Wicked goes forward with the rocket punch, doesn't find the kill, but almost takes down Striker just with a hand cannon alone. Takes it up to the high ground with Seismic Slam, keep himself alive. That's opening up here for Roxorcas onto the point. Strong leaping forward, drops down the EMP, and Wicked's going to be the first one that falls. But Hotbot comes in quickly behind him and boops him down with the mech to claim the kill. And now it's going to be into overtime. Roxorcas cannot leave the point. Have to try to keep this one in contention, but the boops come through. Legend gets knocked off. And that might just be it here. Sleep Dart not going to be connecting. Pulse Bomb finds Arc, but it's still
No
LW
pressure.
Red very much coming up with the kills.
If you ever see Ana in overtime, free healing, and no one even on her screen or close to it, it's going to be a 1 defense by LW Red.
For Sombras.
No first tick going to come here for the
Get the kill.
Orcas.
Primal Rage is coming through from Legend. Can they boop him off in time is going to be the question. They get that uppercut. Now it's the self-destruct, and yeah, that bar is just going to plummet. So full hold coming through there on point A.
Don't know about all this Sombra play. The Sombra play has not impressed me from Krong after he had some good play earlier in the series on Doomfist in our first map. No ticks means that very straightforward goal. For LW Red, 1 single checkpoint on point A will be enough for them. Push forward to exit first seed, their first 3-0. They would go through with a 9-2 game score over GC Busan, Afrika, who surprisingly did not go through this particular group, and then the Roxorcas.
Well, 33% is all that stands between LW Red and a nice 3-0 victory over the Roxorcas, a change of pace for them historically.
I wonder if LW Red will want a Soldier on attack. They've been very low on Soldier play rate so far in this series, and
Hasn't been huge.
whenever you know the enemy team has to sit on a checkpoint because they can't give up a single tick, the chances of it being just like a Hanamura attack where Soldier's on the high ground free hitting on attack becomes more and more likely. So I'm always a big fan of Soldier in these scenarios, but there's also value to going to Comfort, going to heroes that have worked in the past, and Wicked's Doomfist is one of the most feared in Apex Season 4. So for now, no Soldier.
Well, Orcas are going to have theirs here with Try. And again, triple DPS on the defense for these guys. We saw how well it worked out for them. The first time around, we had 2 very swift caps from both teams. LW Red getting theirs done.
Taking the pulled out view because we're seeing LW Red go all around the side. They are getting Doomfist onto the point, having taken no damage and with all his abilities off cooldown. That can be big.
Well, they absolutely know that this health pack is going to be hacked, so they can take control of it, deny that extra percentage coming through from towards that EMP. That comes down onto Wicked, but he stays alive, manages to kite back over onto the staircase. We'll be able to rejoin the fight as Legend and Gegri both go low.
the first 30 seconds for positioning. Now they dive on with a minute left.
Oh, Roar almost going down. Will get taken out at the end. A Striker finds the kill. And they pops Gregory out of the mech, and it's down to 55 seconds here. Wicked not getting the connection there with that rocket punch that he would have liked, and it will actually get finished off by Gregory in the Baby Diva form, just firing away with that pistol, and Nene goes down as well, so LW Red gonna have to regroup. You can see Arc jumping off the map, goes back, gather up, get that speed boost, and sprint over towards the point with just 35 seconds remaining.
And now no guarantee that we won't be going into an overtime control map, Achilles, with where this map is positioned right now, as they're very likely to have 5 ultimates on the defense, Orcas, and often see the double push repelled in this scenario, but that may be the reality. There are tools available for LW Red, but a big EMP would just end this map.
Wrong going low, jumps back over to the health pack to keep himself
Also
alive.
alone.
Yeah, he jumps in onto the point, and that's going to be EMP down straight into a kill onto the Winston. Now the sound barrier thrown out here by a try with the high ground, just firing away. We'll see an answering sound barrier out by Arc, but they've already lost 2 members. And Hoppa, he's going to get knocked out of the mech. Actually throws up the self-destruct. Can he make it back in? The safety is going to be the question. Will be able to do so for the delay tools here, and Wicked comes up with a kill in onto 8, but they need so much more than that because the meter has not been building up at all. Roar's made his way back in, has the primal rage available, but gets hacked out, and he goes down. Crucial there from Krong, finally showing up with this Sombra pick. Will maybe help save this game here for his team. It is ticking up, almost gets there. They get the tag back in from Nene, but he falls, and that is going to be a tiebreaker scenario coming through.
Really don't understand the Winston jump in. They had 8 seconds on the timer, and he went in an area where there was no way for the healing to follow him. The Transcendence wasn't working on the Winston when he jumped in. I don't know if it was lazy or just poorly coordinated, but pretty woeful from Roar and LW Red for that last contest. No pressure on the soldier at all. We do actually end up going to control points here. We do end up going to our tiebreaker. Don't know which of the maps it'll be on. Probably not Lijiang, given that we've already had it twice today. Orcas, they've only won 1 map. No asterisks here. If they can win this, they win a 2nd map, which would feel so important to them, given they will not play an Apex game till they play in Super Week for their lives in Apex Season 5. Waiting to see where we're going, but LW Red not convincing on that attack.
Definitely not. Rough around the edges, to say the least, about that one, but now it all comes down to a best of 1. And remember, this was a 2-1 victory on Control to start things off in this series, so we know that Rox can show up when it comes down to these control point rounds. So the heat is definitely getting turned up here, and the hopes for the Rox Orcas completing that reverse sweep have not been killed yet.
Will be a long one. This would be Apex Season 3 final territory, because we're already going to be hitting our first of these tiebreakers. It's the best of 1, guys. No best of 3 or best of 5 for the tiebreak. It's just single map. Waiting to see where we'll be going. Haven't been informed by OGN where the tiebreaker is on the day.
Finding out momentarily, though. We do have everybody loaded up and ready to go, so here we go. All comes down to this, and it's going to be Nepal.
Murder Bridge here may actually decide this series. So often we see the high ground being the true contest. A lot you can run here. Wicked for now, showing the Farah that he's moved on to today after being Doomfist only in the past, and it's definitely an old favorite on Village.
He's one that we do see brought out every now and then here on this point. Getting the entry for the barrage onto the point itself can be a little bit difficult because you're so low to the ground, so everybody can target you.
It's one of those things where if you capture it first, then you can take the higher ground, and it's a headache for the enemy team to get in. If you fail first attack, you basically 80% plus switch off it onto a different hero. So I think the first opening salvo may actually decide who takes down control point. No guarantees on that. That's how it goes when one team opts into far and the other one does not.
There we go. Standard approach coming through from both sides. Or getting that leap forward here as Wicked takes to the skies, trying to take out Krong. One final shot would do it, but just a bit too elusive, so instead he'll turn around and kill Legend instead. And that damage boost coming through. Nice direct hit, gets rid of Try. Things looking okay here for the side of LW Red so far, but as I say that, Krong comes up with a double kill, rocket punch into the seismic slam. Rox hotbot out of that mech, and just like that, Rox Orcas are going to be the ones getting in onto the point first and foremost, and we'll have that initial cap.
Both teams got a lot of value out of their unique DPS, but given the area where they were fighting, it was 6v5 because Farah was high and the rest of them were fighting in the house. That little enclosed space, a lot of value from Krong on the Doomfist. No side of Sombra this time means that, like you say, first cap goes over to the Orcas, and now you have to find a way for Wicked to actually be impactful as the Pharah.
Yeah, and even then, pretty much needs to get
Striker?
that barrage, but oh, that's got to be the stick coming through from Striker right in onto Arc. Just slowing them up as much as possible. 8 will go down as Wicked finds that kill, but it's still going to be trading up here for the side of the Rocks. Orcas, they get rid of Roar, they knock Hotbot out of the mech, and Jaylee will go down right before he gets that res available. Krong really starting to pop off with the Doomfist, and you have to wonder, why weren't you playing this the entire time?
We haven't been fans of the Sombra, but may have been enough over time to actually win them. Volskaya via Nepal, I guess you would say. There's Nene, who's been a star in previous maps, but
Looking for the back cap.
at least looking to force the positioning of the Orcas. The minimum he's looking to do is most of it already.
They are moving over here. Striker goes in. Call comes through to keep him alive, and Nene will just have to go ahead and abandon that one. But we're already at 62%, and Nene goes down. Wicked trying to get these hits in onto Krong, but he's just a bit too elusive. They have the most of the Rocks Orcas contained into the side rooms, but they still can't get in onto the point. Now it's going to be 75% going upward. LW Red are really fighting an uphill battle, and 1J League getting picked off does them no favors at all.
Hard to call it a battle when 6 ultimates also available for the Orcas. Haven't felt pressured into using any the entire push.
It's 6v6 here.
If you don't,
the ultimates.
If you don't use the Pharah ultimate, if you don't get value early, you get into these awkward spots. 12 ultimate fight.
I mean, they're going to have to dump everything just to try to get this taken. Even then, they won't have anything to really get the defense pulled off. Jump in on the Legend, looking for the pick there, but can't quite find it because the Transcendence comes down from trying.
Roar doesn't use the ult.
The ultimate to be used, and as you say, Roar doesn't use his, and now
They
Wicked
could
gets
have the
taken
Mercy.
out, and that might just be it here. 1J League
Mercy.
goes through, does get the res, triple res coming through, and now Roar can go ahead and use that Primal Rage. Pop-Up makes it back into the mech, and it seems like they might be able to get this retake, but they still need kills to be coming forward. Punch goes through, Arc goes down, Hotbot gets taken out of the mech, gets taken down shortly thereafter. We're able to answer one onto the enemy Doomfist, but Wicked has yet again been taken out of the fight, and 1J Lee, the lone support, will die as Legend takes him out, and it seems like Rocks Orcas will be able to pick up a map as they desperately try to dash around, but there you go, they get it in the end, they win by proxy. On Nepal, they win Volskaya, and they will be extending the series.
Really greedy stuff by LW Red. They stuck with the Pharah for the longest time. They did not use the Primal Rage because they thought, well, let's just have a grouped res and try to turn the fight. But Pulse Bomb was still left up to try to get an AoE afterwards. It's so greedy in competitive play to try to pull that off because the teams know exactly how to punish it when the grouped respawn happens and you're not able to use anything early in the fight. So the greed is in the end punished, and LW Red do drop a map. So 3rd time in a row they've dropped a map. They went on to win the first 2 times 3-1. Rocks Orcas will feel good that they go home with at least a map win.
All right, but can they get the reverse sweep is going to be the question. That is now what Rocks Orcas are going to be looking for. They have that momentum shift, and this is going to be LW Red starting to feel like they're in familiar territory. Can they gather their thoughts? Looks like the answer is going to be yes as they go ahead and call out the tactical pause. Buy themselves a little bit more time to get prepared here.
The deep breath. I think this is a good time for a tactical pause just because the team was showing some things we haven't really seen from Luxury Watch Red when it comes to their dive-in timing on Volskaya, or indeed some of their decision-making problems when they actually played the best-of-1 tiebreaker on Village. LW Red didn't necessarily look like the 6-man team that has gotten so much value so far in their teamwork in previous maps. Just trying to reset a little bit here, LW.
See how this is going to pay out for them. Rocks Orcas will not have the map selection, so LW Red can go over to something that's going to be favored by them for Escort. Already saw Route 66 earlier on. If maybe we'll be going over to something like Dorado.
Dorado has been very, very common when they've actually had the choice. Hasn't happened. They actually haven't had the choice on Escort so far. Selections against them have been Route 66, Via Africa, and GC Busan selected Dorado. So far, those have been the decisions. So now that they actually have the choice, it's probably another good time for a tactical pause. Previously, they had only lost on King's Row. So now you add Volskaya and Nepal by proxy to that list. So where they want to actually choose to go. Pharah has been a pretty big pick for them on attack, so Dorado's definitely a possibility there. Haven't really been talking about their hit scan play, so Gibraltar's probably out. Dorado or Route 66. Both maps they played, for me, likely to be one of the selection of the two.
See what they're going to land on here. Orcas as well, putting their heads together. Coach trying to figure out how they're going to maintain this momentum, move it forward, and try to close out this series. Because again, they can't upset them at this point. They needed a 3-1 or a 3-0 to deny LW Red that first place spot. But they still can at least walk away with some victories and feel good as they get ready to go forward into the promotion tournament. For now, just going to get a couple little highlight reels coming through from Nene and Striker have been back and forth here with these Tracers.
The annoyance is there for the side of LW Red. We had Kongdu Panthera in a similar spot. You actually mentioned it earlier tonight. Lose in a match like this to Mighty AOD when they were already guaranteed to go through. That was in second spot, but of course they went on to play in the final. For LW Red, there's no guarantees they show up with the same vigor that they did earlier now that all the bad outcomes of the season are put to one side. So we'll see how LW Red able to rescrew their heads back on for the next map. And yeah, again, Dorado and Route 66, my big expectations, given that Gibraltar doesn't really they don't necessarily have the player lineup like, say, a Lunatic High to really get the most value out of Gibraltar.
Oh, well, last few seconds here, draining off the clock. LW Red. Let's see what they have landed on here for this map selection. Still do have that match point, but they want to deny, they want to avoid the potential reverse sweep. Rocks Orcas would very much love to deliver to them.
Waiting to see what that map selection is. Man, it'd be hype if they forced us to a map 5, but crucially, Rocks wouldn't have the map selection. You can't see LW Red saying, screw it, Kings Row, really, for the 5th map, but stranger things have happened here in Apex. Thought we knew what to expect tonight. Everyone said double 3-0. We've already had it confirmed. That script was ripped up into small pieces. Now we just need to consult the script and see where we're going for control. We'll get that confirmation now.
All right, Gibraltar, Dorado, or 66. It's going to be Dorado, as anticipated there. Go ahead, lock that one in. And we saw how much Orcas struggled with Eichenwald, with moving that payload up. So could be having similar issues here with Dorado, or even getting to that point A has proven difficult for some of these teams.
Not as punishing to run the Pharah on this map than it was, or it proved to be on Village. So let's see if they return to that strategy. Could also be the Doomfist, a possibility. A lot of things work on Dorado, the most flexible in my estimation of those escort maps. Another match point, but if this one goes the other way, we're gonna have a hype map 5.
Yeah, really could. I mean, this the beginning of this day, Papa Smith, he didn't seem nearly as hype as it ended up being. Flashlux taking a map off Kongdu Panthera, and now maybe even the reverse sweep alive here for the Rocks Orcas. Let's see if it happens as we load up onto Dorado. Here we go. Rocks fans hanging in there, looking to get this closeout. If they possibly can, keep those hopes alive and be pushing us forward into a 5th and final map.
Pep in the step is there from the players, but also from the fans, like you were alluding to, Achilles. So they're starting to become believers that perhaps we have not seen the end of the Orcas season, and we might actually go 5 maps, and they could pick up their first match win of the season, even though it doesn't punish LW Red. It'd be big for the Orcas. LW Red will begin on defense. So not expecting the Pharah hijinks on defense, but now it will be Wicked on the Doomfist. Something weird about the player shots, as we can hear.
Some picture-in-picture going on
The
here.
pitter-patter of steps.
We're just focusing in onto Striker and Nene. This back and forth that we've been having from them the entire series long on these Tracers.
And a triple DPS dream for the Orcas, but maybe Escort will finally mean no triple DPS. Try's going to start on Xenia. They open triple DPS on every map type till Escort.
Krong is going to be the one on the Soldier 76. quickly changing things up here as he wraps his way around over to the high ground. He's got Legend just going to go ahead and tank things up in the front.
Yeah, before today, he was Sombra first, Soldier 76 second. Today, he's been on a bit of Doomfist, but largely the Sombra. So I guess no big surprise, even if this series he's not been playing the Soldier.
Looking for that entry from the backside to get in on top of these supports. Loses out on his in the meantime as Try goes down.
Yeah, defensive dive got onto the cart, so predictably got the first mix.
Oh,
Nene so low!
Oh, he stays alive in the end. The shots from 1J Lee help keep him up for a little bit longer, but Striker will win out in the end. The rivalry continues between these dueling Tracers. Now it's going to create a lot of distance here for the payload to move forward as it goes into the underpass.
Yeah, when you actually dive in with defensive dive, as deep as they did, if you don't get more than one kill, you often are going to be chased down because of the very close respawn and also the Soldier being able to take fleeing members down. So Rox Orcas are pushing pretty extensively towards the Carnival.
Striker using the recall, gets himself back over, and seems like that might be the completion. No, halted right at the last second here as the Nano Boost goes down in on the Roar, but he's just going to get taken out. No heals coming through to help keep him in the fight. Now, Pulse Bomb thrown down by Striker. Isn't going to be finding too much profit there. Sends them back away from the payload, at least for the moment, but still, it's 1.57 meters left to go here for the side of the Rox Orcas, and with the kills spilling over in their favor, it seems like this completion is going to happen anytime now. It would give them a pretty sizable time bank to go ahead and keep moving through. You can see Striker with a smile on his face, feeling pretty good about that attack.
Yeah, big roar, big cheer there coming through from Striker, but we're seeing LW Red kind of fall apart. We saw a very poor use of the Pulse Bomb there from Nene, who's been so good previously, just shorted it very obviously. Almost another pick, but 1J Lee was able to back away.
Barely stays alive into that one. But still very far away with that swamp over onto the Zenyatta. Going to be building up very slowly for that Transcendence.
1J Lee taken down.
Too much yet.
It's a 1-for-1, but they do lose the Transcendence user of 1J Lee. No Zenyatta for them. They back away, so a little bit of meterage here for Rox Orcas.
Try use his own Transcendence here. Try to keep himself alive, felt under threat. Very much as Wicked just did as he gets taken down. Striker chasing around from the back, looking for the kill in onto Arc. If not the pop out onto Hotbot. Won't be able to find either, but the payload is moving forward at a rapid pace. Just under 4 minutes remaining, and it's getting ready to round that final corner.
Every time we see LW Red dive down, they kind of emulated what Orcas were struggling with in map 1 and 2. When it comes to those timings, haven't been convincing on Dorado twice now. Can't afford too many more sidesteps, otherwise it's going to be a lot of time in moving into the power plant.
Now it's going to be the sound barrier coming through. Self-destruct gets tossed out. Ain't finding much, however. Meantime, that's going to be the attack visor out from Krong, looking for a couple targets. Just chipping them out, finds a kill onto 1J Lee. Couple trade backs coming through from LW Red, but the double kill into the triple from Wicked suddenly just turns the fight around. It seemed like Rox Orcas had that one victoriously, but it just gets shut down absolutely by Wicked there at the end.
And his team desperately needed a moment like that, the sort of individual moment that can actually rally the troops around him. Drop down, instant double kill on Lucio and Soldier, end up Tracer as well. Haven't had a feel-good moment for LW Red in about a map and a half, so that's a big one.
And that should reinstill some confidence here in the squad. But at the moment, still don't have very much to work with. 1J Lee now has the Transcendence available. Pulse Bomb comes through, but a nice defensive matrix there from Hotbot. Just denies that Pulse Bomb.
Raw dies, though, on defense. 1J Lee also taken out by Zenyatta. Didn't want to use Transcendence because didn't have an actual engagement going on, but that does mean control of the cart back to Rox Orcas.
Yeah, full support's going down. Hotbot popped out of the mag.
Died.
This one moving yet again, but can they get the completion?
They died disconnected enough. There could be a contest here. They're trying to patrol it.
Lore goes forward. Transcendence going to get used by 1J Lee, feeling under threat by Legend, who's pushing forward. And Wicked gets the kill in onto Aid. Try answers with his own Transcendence to keep himself alive for fear of that Doomfist jumping onto his face.
Still 6v5 as Aid is not regrouped with his team yet. Long run back.
Jaeger's going to get popped out of the max, so buys a little bit more time here for the side of LW Red with this defense, who drained the clock down pretty significantly so far, and Krong actually kills himself with the Helix Rockets.
Nene did all the work, but the Helix Rocket amusingly takes himself down. They'll back away. Orcas used a lot. They thought they could fight on the cart, but a true 6v5 number disadvantage wasn't going to work for them. So hard to find the right mode of return to the cart when it's this aggressively pushed. for the Orcas. They do have Transcendence and also the Sound Barrier to try to find a way to at least push people out of their positions.
But one of the big things you can see is the difference between 1J Lee and Try, because 1J Lee, they both use their Transcendences pretty much one after the other, but he's at 90% now compared to the 56. His accuracy with these orbs has been through the roof and has allowed him to build up for these Transcendences so rapidly. It's been a treat to see really from him. Now Krong getting jumped onto the high ground. Wicked joins in with the Primal Raged Winston to help take out the Soldier 76. And now, yet again, yep, there's the Transcendence, comes through, gets popped immediately by 1J Lee, keeps himself alive. They find the kill on to Try. 8 has to abandon it, and suddenly we're down to less than a minute here for the Rocks Orcas to try to get this completion onto point B.
The accuracy from 1J Lee has been good, but to me, it's more the overstays by the Orcas when they have 5 or 4 members allowing the Zenyatta to just get free charge. Try eventually will have his own, will have it, and double support ultimates means they do have a sort of ult bank to actually be able to fight on the point, but still no guarantee. We already saw Wicked pull off the heroics a moment ago, but this is the moment for the Orcas.
Krong, or Try goes ahead, throws down that Transcendence right off the bat. They still have the Sound Barrier ready to go, will use it as soon as that Transcendence goes away. Krong firing away here with this Tac Visor. Looking for a pick, doesn't find anything, nor will the Meteor Strike here from Wicked as he rejoins the fight. Goes low, but he's getting that shielding from that damage output to keep him in the fight. Allows to get some healing in so he can really stick in there for a long time.
The Orcas have used everything, and only now they get the mech in a single pick, so it's not guaranteed yet.
They find just the one. Still haven't even finished off Hoppa in that Baby Diva form. He's actually just sprinting around, trying to keep things in contention here.
And by time for the respawns, but the Orcas continue to move forward. Okay, there's the Diva taken out. That's something.
He made it back in.
Red.
Yeah, he made it back in, actually. Got back into the mech and now is rejoining the fight. Goes low as that Discord Orb on him has to play safe, but now LW Red, they get the Sound Barrier coming through. And Try goes down right off the bat. Now Legend following suit. And LW Red want to close things out right here, right now with this overtime ticking down. Wicked will be the recipient of that pulse bomb. You can see the gatekeeping coming through from that Primal Rage, just trying to keep Striker away. One more hit will take him down. No more overtime meter there, and Rocks Orcas will be halted right in front of point B after what looked like a fantastic point A take into Street Space.
But you can see how important the single moment from Wicked was on the whole complexion of the team. When it came to the round shot, it stopped the car in a great spot for LW Red, but that wasn't enough. They came in with a huge ult advantage there, Orcas, but it felt like everyone's play around him rose to complement what was a great individual moment from Wicked. Everyone was a bit more, they were able to shake off what has been some up and down play from LW Red previously to that. And now on attack, they have a very achievable goal to end it at 3-1 and end the Orcas' hope of the reverse sweep.
Orcas need one hell of a defense to go ahead and stop this one out. See what they're going to piece together to start things off around point A, deny that cart. Seems like they might just be sticking through with Krong over onto this Doomfist for now, at least.
If it was going to be one of his standbys, not a Sombra map, so would not be running that, so makes sense for it to be the Doomfist. LW Red, defensive Doomfist, and I think after a moment like that as Wicked, you definitely return to it on attack as well. We'll get more information about that in just a moment. See what the Orcas can do. They have had a great passage of play. They are feeling on a high after taking their second map of the tournament. Nothing unique in the defense. We've seen crazy things even this season. We've seen triple tank on Dorado defense. It was a failure, but the theory behind it was interesting. Seems like we're going standard. If that's Apex Season 4, standard is doomed. Helios.
That it is. No McCree's here, though. Not going to be seeing that other half, that other side of the coin. We'll be seeing LW Red starting off their attack here. It's Tracer Doomfist. So mirrored compositions on both sides as they get this cart moving. See how swiftly they can do it, because Rocks Orcas were pretty convincing on their attack.
LW Red dropped down very aggressively around this area, but for now, Orcas are actually giving up more free mileage.
Yeah, playing back near the market.
Usually not what you see when it's a dive comp. Triple tank always used to play around here, but when there's dive, you usually see a dive earlier than this because you can reset and fight again. You fail your dive here. If there's a wipe by LW Red, they're going to get the full push through the carnival area.
That's going to happen. Striker going up onto the high ground, seemingly ignoring Arc, actually. Doesn't take any shots at the Lucio, instead just takes a boop and recalls out.
Been a lot of shots, but no death shots so far.
No, not yet, but Striker almost receives one. Dashes his way back around the cart to keep himself safe. Payload has been halted very much here. Just in the underpass, as Wicked will finally go down, so we do see a kill come through for the side of Rox Orcas.
LW Red have the Transcendence already, though. That might actually be used early to allow the push. Okay, here it is. And remember, Wicked does have a lot of mobility. He'll get here soon.
And go ahead, throw that one down, but it's going to be the sound barrier answered by the Rox Orcas as Abe throws it out. Now Try has his own Transcendence available, so could just double invest on those support ultimates and try to hold this. And that's exactly what they're going to do. You don't quite see it on screen. Sound barrier comes down, but it's not enough to keep 1J Lee alive in the fight. And LW Red have to try to get things moving. Primal Rage will get popped. They find one on the Try. The punch comes down on the Nene. He goes down, and the self-destruct finds Wicked. So Rox Orcas will pull off this hold initially.
And have repelled the push in impressive fashion. Huang already used the Meteor Strike, only now available to Wicked because he died earlier. All support ults down. Rox Orcas nowhere near an ult of their own. But all LW Red have really done is tap dry the ult economy of the Orcas. No more than that, really. It's been even so far.
Wicked going for it, has that Meteor Strike ready to go. Goes low, but gets topped back up, so doesn't feel the pressure to have to pop it defensively. Pushing on the Striker, not going to be enough to get the kill. Payload will start inching forward yet again, but they need quite a bit of distance. There we go, Striker landing straight in front of him. Almost gets the kill in onto Krong, but the shielding will keep him alive for the moment. But the Meteor Strike will take him down alongside Aid, and that is just going to be the effective team kill coming through. LW Red will get this completion here on point A, but slower than we saw from Orcas, so now they need a very aggressive Streets phase.
Single attack or single successful fight when you're that deep into point A is going to be enough to pick up the cap. Is looking for some exit ult percentage as well. Didn't you have to use much, only the Meteor Strike used in that particular passage of play, so double support ultimate open for LW Red. Nene predictably going to try and contest the high ground on his own. That's what often happens here when we don't have Genjis around.
As a drop down in on the Try, tries to take him out, but the Transcendence will come through, but it's going to be a stack with that sound barrier as well, which could cost him in the long run. If he gets taken out for at least now, things will be okay for the Rox Orcas.
Heart not pushing during all of this. Had to stack the ultimates because they were worried about the Pulse Bomb just DPSing down the Zenyatta. So Zenyatta had to ult defensively himself. So let's see what they can get done with the sound barrier. LW Red once again knows they're in a good spot ult economy-wise.
Now they're going to approach this one. Pulse Bomb comes through from Striker, but it's not going to be finding anything. And now they'll go ahead and throw down their own sound barrier to try to stay in the fight. Primal Rage there from Roar gets rid of Try.
Wicked wins the Doomfist battle.
And he does. Arc does go down to the Meteor Strike, but it follows up for that kill, as you say. And now it's just going to be a matter of getting these people away from the payload. Self-destruct will get used there by Geggery, but immediately loses out on the mech. All 6 members turning in, just burst her right out of that one, and she will go down.
Not really sure about why they're going for all these staggered recalls into contesting the cart, because before they used the Diva ultimate, they were already guaranteed another fight. That extra mileage doesn't get them 2 fights. It's only going to be a single fight. Left in the defense here for Rox Orcas, and it means they won't have ultimates. All they have is the Primal Rage right now.
Well, double charge coming through, and uppercut plus Roar equals a dead Krong, so nice little work there from LW Red. Seismic Slam gets a bit of damage down in onto 8. Meteor Strike comes through. Just dueling Zenyatta's with those Transcendences, but can he get the pop? Yes, he does! Yet again, Wicked comes up with a double kill, but this time eliminates both supports in one fell swoop. Geggery gonna get punched away from the cart, now into the air, will get knocked out of that mech, and things are just gonna get rolling here for LW Red, who want to complete this. They still have 1:35 left on the clock.
And the Rox Orcas gonna have to start trickling because they've got almost no space to deal with. The cart less than 5 meters away right about now. Roar's just trying to proxy people.
Yeah, he's got the Primal Rage ready to go. He can just go ahead and try to gatekeep as best as possible.
0.3 meters!
0.3 meters, as you say, is all that they need. And now it's an all-out brawl, but Wicked gets picked off first and foremost.
Interrupts the sound barrier.
Not gonna happen. Aid can't get the cast off. Nene takes him down, and now the kills are spilling over for LW Red. A sound barrier for themselves thrown in by Arc, and that should just be it. Striker goes down, and they get the completion in the end.
And it was the clutch moments on defense. It was all about Wicked getting that triple And then on attack, Nene interrupting the sound barrier, stopping the Lucio from ever reaching the ground. The sound barrier would have bought them enough time for another round of respawns. It doesn't happen, and LW Red will go through. First seed, 9-3 in the group stage. That part was already guaranteed, but they would have felt wayward about their last 45 minutes to an hour of Overwatch in the group stage. Don't need to feel bad anymore. They do go through 3-1.
Very well done there by LW Red. The reverse sweep scares certainly had to be real at that point, but fantastic plays coming through from Wicked, from Nene. These DPS guys really just helping close that one out at the end. Absolutely bonkers with those meteor strikes. As Wicked, yet again, continues showing this prowess on this Doomfist pick.
And it's going to be so fun to see what other teams make of LW Red moving forward. We all thought that the 3 teams in this group were fodder for Afrika. They were riding that high in Season 3. But Afrika very quickly was exposed, no longer with Mano and no longer able to be able to contest teams like LW Red. And now the power level rankings in Apex gets so much harder. Because, sure, there are some old favorites. We know Kongdu Panther is a good team, even if they were surprisingly difficult to take down Flashlux in our first series. But where does LW Red rank? We thought MVP Space was right up there, but now they're very unlikely to even make it to the next round. Are LW Red a contender, or were they in a soft group? We asked that about Afrika Blue last season. Now we ask it about LW Red this season.
Not only that, but who will they select as their opponent moving forward into the round of 8?
Probably not Lunatic High.
Probably not. I think that they're pretty safe in that regard. Maybe NC Foxes, if they can get the chance to take a pick at them. Otherwise, the competition just becomes a bit stiffer as you move forward. But Orcas, well, they at least were able to pick up the victory there on Volskaya, deny the 3-0. But fortunately do not have any match wins as they close out their season of Apex here.
But it's nice that both Flashlux and Orcas going to be a little bit downtrodden about not winning a match, but at least they both won a map. At least they both had good passages of play.
Oh, I wonder which play this is.
Oh, well, you know, it's going to be the defense here. Let's watch for the drop here, as we haven't seen double kills too often. That one was big, and they had some poor play in the previous 30 minutes of Overwatch we'd seen before that. But that was the tonic to raise the sails and raise LW Red over the line.
Yep. Well, feel good victory for them in the end. We'll hold on to that first place spot as we sort of expected here at the start of the day, but it wasn't nearly as easy for them. But overall, good day of Overwatch. You know, we started off the broadcast somewhat sarcastically, Papa Smithy, talking about how we had some exciting games for everybody here, and it actually turned out that way. So again, Caster's blessing did come through at the end of the day, giving us that first series, that nice hype matchup with Flashlux taking Lijiang Tower into Orcas, able to close out Volskaya, get that tiebreaker on Nepal, and pick up the victory for themselves there.
I mean, the Overwatch went better than expected, and that already lets you know that everyone involved, the players, the casters, and also the fans at home, get to enjoy more competitive Overwatch than expected, and that's a great thing, with us being robbed of 3 best-of-5s in the group stage with LW Blue pulling out. LW Blue also was scheduled to play on Tuesday, so that means there will only be a single match. We'll get to the importance there. It is an important match, of course, with Lunatic High versus Meta Athena deciding the final entrant into the next round. But today is about LW Red, who had that long story of not making it to Apex, where a big team pre-Apex couldn't get over the line, couldn't qualify. It means a lot to fans of LW Red from a year ago that they finally make it in and they finish first seed and actually have some chances of going far in the tournament.
Yep. Alrighty, well, there we go. On the day, Flashlux take that map away from Kongdu Panthera, but ultimately could not close it out. Same story here with the side of the Orcas, but at least for a little while, they kept that reverse sweep hype alive for us. But LW Red and Kongdu Panthera walk away with the victories. They walk away as the #1 team in their groups. And they will have their selection of their opponents as we get ready to go into the round of 8, which is going to be right around the corner, Papa Smithy.
I believe next Friday is when that particular action gets going, so one more match day of normalcy before the round of 8 and the group draw show and everything. Feels like we've got some great Overwatch to look forward to and some change with it being expected that we'll finally have the adjustment in patches, but the standings were not adjusted today. Hongdu Panthera and LW Red top Group B and Group C. Game score makes it very comfortable for LW Red and Panthera also over the Foxes and Busan respectively, and top seeds are the ones that pull the names out of the hat and influence the groups for round of 8.
Yep. Now, one final match here to be played out. Meta Athena versus Lunatic High. And, well, this is another tough-ask situation here for Meta Athena, who need to beat Lunatic High in order for MVP space to advance into the round of 8.
And it's 3-0 they need also for Meta Athena to really change much. Meta Athena, they take a map Achilles. I think they'll be the same as the two teams we saw today that came in underdogs, because Meta Athena don't have a single map in Season 4. This match in Season 2 was made of hype. This was the map that everyone wanted to see. Sadly not anymore with Meta Athena's large struggles in Apex Season 4. So only a single match because LW Blue was scheduled to play on this day and withdrawn from the tournament. Not 100% sure. I guess we might have the group draw show that day, but I don't want to commit to anything I'm not 100% sure of.
I believe that would be the case, but we will...
Schedule-wise, it makes sense.
We'll confirm that one in the future. If you guys just take a look at Twitter, I'm sure we'll have an announcement on OGN Global as well. So we should be able to confirm or deny that group draw show happening there on Tuesday. But either way should be very interesting to see. Because Meta Athena, maybe they can pull a rabbit out of the hat. Maybe they can deny Lunatic High a little bit, or at least take a map or two and really scare them. Shake them a little bit as they get ready to go into that round of 8, perhaps.
Wouldn't it be amazing that the only team that actually earned a 0-9 scoreline would be Meta Athena if they were actually to lose there? The Challengers matches flashed on the screen for a moment. I'll let you finish that thought in a moment, but it's worth knowing that Lunatic High 2 has been doing some great work in Challengers, and Bunny has been popping off. I'm sure you guys might have seen those clips on Reddit, so if you have a chance on the OGN OW or OGN Overwatch channel, no English cast, but there is some fun stuff happening in Challenges right now as well.
Yeah, you can always scope out those teams and see who might be up and coming here into the next Apex tournament. Because we already know which teams are going to be playing in that promotion tournament, so we'll see how who they're going to be squaring off against. Maybe we'll have a rematch of Meta Athena in the promotion tournament versus LW2 or LH2 rather.
I mean, Meta Athena is the last.
LW2 is already in here.
That's true. I mean, Meta Athena is the last Bible thumb for me. This team, if they really are the only team to finish 0-9 next to LW Blue, didn't even actually take to Apex, that's insane. 2 seasons later,
absolutely
after being
crazy.
a big contender.
I mean, almost going into the final was Meta Athena, and then go 0-9 when Flash Slugs picks up a map win. I don't know, that's not a world that you really want to live in as an org that has been already as storied as they are, just with the few splits that they've played. Having that much success initially and then falling off so hard is pretty damning.
It's like the opposite of Runaway, who went from relegations to making it to the final. They went from Royal Roaders to relegations 2 seasons later in perhaps the most emphatic ways possible. So let's see if we see the Meta Athena rise. If it is a 3-0, it has big standings implications, but a single map, that's really all Athena's looking for.
All right, well, that's going to close things out for us here for the week at Apex. We'll be back on Tuesday with that single match and perhaps the group draw show. We're not sure. Again, we'll confirm that one, so keep your eyes focused on Twitter. We'll figure it out. We'll get that news out to you. But in the meantime, we'll see you. Have a good night.
위험입니다.